Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. We're going to study today again a new topic number 3 of our lesson. We have been studying lesson number 6 entitled Real Unselfishness. And today we're going to cover the topic From the Heart or Not. So let's look at our first question. What did Ananias and Sapphira do with the proceeds of the property they had pledged to donate to the church? If we remember, we were reading in Acts chapter 4 and 5 yesterday, and we saw two examples. We saw Barnabas, who was a Levite, and who was moved by the Holy Spirit to sell his property and bring the price over to the disciples so that the disciples would have money to supply for the needs of those that were poor because they had become Christians. Now, in chapter 5, we see a couple, Ananias and Sapphira, who were also moved by the Holy Spirit to do the same. And they sold a possession they had, but in verse 2 of chapter 5 of Acts, we see that they kept back part of the price. And the wife also knew what was going on and agreed to it. And they only brought part of the price to the feet of the apostles. Why did they do that? So if we look at the lesson, we have a note here that says that they gave in to the feeling of covetousness. And they began to regret the decision that they had made, and that feeling that had moved them slowly went away. What they actually decided was that they had been too hasty in making the decision to give the price of the property to the disciples. But it says that they saw, however, that those who parted with their possessions to supply the needs of the poorer brethren were held in high esteem among the believers. And they were ashamed to regress on their decision. And what would people say, right? Of their decision. Now they're decided, oh no, we're not going to give anything to the church. And so they gave only part, hoping that the disciples and the brethren would say, well, that's all they got for the property, and they would still have the praise of the brethren. And also they would still be able to participate in the community and be supplied by the community. This is a really sad story. Now, for us, the question B says, of what shallow motivation must we all beware? Let's look in John chapter 12. John chapter 12, verse 43. And it says, for they love the praise of man more than the praise of God. So of what motivation should we be aware so that we don't do the same thing? Are we going to do things for the praise of God or for the praise of man? It says in the note, God does not intend that your light shall so shine that your good words and works shall bring praises to men, to yourself, but that the author of all good shall be glorified and exalted. Jesus, in his life, gave to men a model of character. How little power did the world have over him to mold him according to its standard? All its influence was thrown off. He declared, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me and to finish his work. If we have this devotion to the work of God, doing it with an eye single to his glory, we should be able to say with Christ, I seek not my own glory. So we have the example of people who have been moved by the Holy Spirit, and some who obeyed and some who didn't. And above all of this, we have the example of Jesus, who came to this earth to suffer and to only give glory to the Father. he was worthy of glory for himself, but he didn't take any glory. He always spoke of the Father. And so who are we? When we do anything, it's because we have been inspired by the Holy Spirit. How can we take glory for that? If we have anything, as we saw yesterday in the lesson, everything that we have is a gift that God has given us. How can we take any glory for giving back to Him? So my desire and prayer as we close for today is that we will keep those examples in mind, keep Jesus in our mind, so that if we do anything, the glory will be for God, not so that people can say, look at them, they're very generous, or whatever they say. I will see you hopefully tomorrow so that we can study topic number 4. Have a blessed day. See you then. Bye.